The galaxy was quiet. For over 500 years, there were no wars, no big battles, only peace. Most people believed the old stories were just that, stories. They talked about a species called humans, strange, violent, dangerous, but no one had seen a human in many lifetimes. Aliens in every corner of the galaxy laughed at the myth. Humans, they were never real, they said, just bedtime stories to scare little ones. But some old beings remembered. Some captains, some generals, some historians, they spoke of a time when the stars burned red and Earth was at war with the galaxy. Those people were ignored. Far out near the edge of the galaxy, a small alien scout ship floated silently. It was from the Thorak Empire, sent to check an old sector marked Dead Zone 87A. That zone had a name long ago, Sol System, the home of Earth, the place where the last human warship was seen. Captain Ralu sat in his chair, bored. "Nothing here," he said, "just dust, rocks, and broken satellites." His crew agreed. There were no life signs, no energy, no heat, but just, as they turned the ship around to leave, the radar beeped. "Wait," said Officer Peln, "something's here." A strange signal appeared on the screen. It was old, very old, but it was repeating. Captain Raoul leaned forward. "Can you play the message?" Pelin pushed a few buttons, and then the bridge was filled with a cold, metallic voice. "We are awake." Ralu stood up. "What was that?" Pelin's hands shook. It's coming from Earth." "But Earth is dead." They looked at the map. A blinking red dot showed some kind of energy pulse coming from the center of the Sol System. They zoomed in and saw something moving. Outside, stars began to disappear. One by one, lights in the sky vanished. Not because the stars were dying, but because something massive was blocking them. The ship's lights flickered, their engines slowed. "No enemy on scanners," said Pelin. "But I feel like something is watching us." Captain Ralu gave the order. "Full power. Leave." Now, the ship tried to jump into warp dot, but nothing happened. All systems went dark. The crew looked at each other in fear. Then, outside the window, a shape appeared. It had no lights, no name, no sound. A massive warship, black like space itself, floated by. No one spoke. Dot. And then they heard it. Not on speakers, not on comms, but in their minds, a voice, cold, empty. "You should not have come here." The ship began to shake. Screams filled the bridge. Pelin tried to send a message back to the Empire. "Emergency, Sol System is not dead. Humans are..." Boom. The last thing seen by the ship's recording system was a flash of white light. Then silence, total silence. 3 hours later, a warning beacon reached the edge of the galaxy. It had no message, no full video. Just one small clip survived. A sound, a deep humming noise, and a short message. "We are awake." The Galactic Union received it. They played the clip again and again, but they laughed. "A trick," said one general. Some rebel trying to be funny, but one old analyst watched it carefully. He zoomed in on the last image. It showed the front of a massive ship, and on its hull, burned deep into the metal, was a symbol, the symbol of Earth. And somewhere, far away, in the cold heart of the Sol System, the humans watched, silent, hidden, waiting. Their machines were ready, their warships were sleeping, and now they were waking up, one by one, deep under old moon bases and asteroid bunkers. Giant weapons opened their eyes. Earth was not dead. It had been silent. It had been watching. And now, ... it was coming back. The Galactic Union sat in its great meeting hall, thousands of leaders from hundreds of alien races. The air was tense, cold, silent. A warning beacon had just arrived. It came from the Sol System, the place marked as dead for centuries. It carried a short, broken message. "We are awake," and a symbol, a burned metal image of Earth. Some leaders laughed. "A trick. An old satellite glitch," said one, but others were not so sure. In a quiet corner of the Galactic Records Department, a young alien named Jorah sat alone. He was a data analyst, a boring job. But today, something didn't feel boring. He looked at the signal file again. "Why send a fake message from a dead zone?" he whispered. "And why that symbol? Earth's symbol." He searched the archives deep into old war files. Most were locked. But he found something, an old report from 500 years ago. Subject: Final human battle status, unknown outcome. All human ships vanished. Jorah frowned. How can a whole fleet vanish and be forgotten? He asked. Then he found something worse. A second file. This one marked, Do not open. Level 9 access only, but Jorah opened it anyway. Inside was a short video, blurry, dark, but clear enough to freeze his blood. A giant black ship, moving without light, destroying an entire fleet in seconds. At the end, a voice, We sleep, but not forever. Jorah ran to the council, shaking. He shouted, They're back. The humans, they're not a myth. The leaders stared at him. An old general stood up. Even if it's true, we are ready. We have fleets. We have weapons. Humans are history. But one old admiral looked worried. No, he said softly. We never beat them. They just disappeared. The Galactic Union acted quickly. They sent Fleet 9150 ships to the Sol system. Their job, confirm if the signal was real. The fleet commander, Admiral Krex, was confident. Bring full power, he said. We'll show these ghosts who rules the galaxy now. They reached Sol system in 9 hours. Everything was quiet. The ships moved past the asteroid belt. They scanned. Planets dead, cold, broken. Nothing, double quotes. No sign of life, said the officer then. The lights flickered. All 50 ships froze. Every screen turned black. Then, one by one, each ship's display turned on again, but not with maps or data. Every screen now showed the same message. Welcome back. You should not have returned. The officers looked around, confused. Admiral Krex shouted, Shut it off. Where is it coming from? Then something appeared on radar. Not one ship, not many, just one. But it was massive. The human warship was unlike anything seen before. Black metal, no windows, no lights, no sound, no heat. Like it had always been there, waiting. It moved slowly, calmly, and then it attacked, not with lasers, not with missiles, with silence. One by one, Union ships blinked out of existence. No explosions, no escape pods, just gone. Admiral Krex tried to call for help, but all communication was blocked. He screamed, What is this? What are they? And then ... nothing. The entire fleet disappeared. Back in the Galactic Union, panic spread. 2 fleets lost, no survivors, no answers. Jorah sat alone, staring at the old human message again. We are awake. Earth had been forgotten, but now ... the galaxy would remember. The Galactic Union was silent. 2 full fleets were gone. No messages, no wreckage, no survivors, just ... Gone. Leaders from across the stars now sat in fear. Some wanted to send more ships, others wanted to close the Sol system forever. But one thing was clear, something was back, and it wore the face of a myth at the edge of the galaxy, inside a floating battle station. Admiral Tolan prepared Fleet 07. Smart, cold, powerful. He didn't believe in ghosts. Humans, he said with a smirk, will crush them in one strike. His fleet had 100 ships, fast armed, and ready for war. He didn't care about the past. He believed in firepower. We enter the Sol system. We find the target. We erase it. And so, Fleet 07 jumped into warp space. When they arrived near Earth's sun, silent, but the ship's sensors picked up something strange, no signals. No heat, no movement. It felt like space itself had stopped breathing. Admiral Tolan narrowed his eyes. Scan again, he said. Still nothing. Then the radar blinked. A small signal. Right ahead, the ships turned. They saw something floating, a human satellite. Old, rusty, barely working. One of the officers laughed. Is this the threat? Then, suddenly, all 100 ships received a message at the exact same time. Not on radios, not from outside. It came directly onto their bridge screens, in white letters on black. Welcome back. You should not have returned. The crew froze. Admiral Tolan stood tall. Target that satellite. Destroy it now. Before the order was finished, every ship's lights shut off. Engines died. Weapons stopped. Screens went dark. A cold silence filled every ship. And then, it appeared, a giant warship, blacker than space, floated in front of the fleet. It made no sound. It didn't glow. It didn't move fast. But it didn't move fast, but it didn't need to. It was there, and that was enough. The ship had no name, no number, but everyone knew what it was. Human. Inside each ship, the crew could feel something like a presence, not human voices, but something deeper in their minds, like the ship itself was alive and watching. Admiral Toland shouted, "Open fire, all weapons, now!" But nothing responded. One by one, the Union ships began to vanish, not explode. Not burn. Just blink out like someone was erasing them. Toland screamed in fear. "This isn't a ship, it's a ghost." In under 30 seconds, 92 ships were gone. Only 8 remained to jump into warp, but the warp system wouldn't start. A new message appeared. "This is not your galaxy anymore." And then, nothing. His ship, too, vanished. Back at the Union's main base, the galaxy watched the screen. Fleet 07. Status, lost. 3 fleets gone. No answers. Only one clue. A name whispered in fear. Humans. They were not myths. They were not gone. They had returned. And this was only the beginning. The galaxy was in shock. 3 powerful fleets gone. No escape, no messages, only a few dark signals. And the same warning, you should not have returned. Some called it magic. One young analyst Jorah believed something deeper. "It's not just power," he said, "it's revenge." Jorah worked in the Galactic Union's record archives. He was small, quiet, and nobody listened to him. But after watching the warship recordings, he started searching. He wanted to know one thing: what really happened to the humans? Jorah opened secret files locked for hundreds of years. He found something strange. It showed a human prisoner recorded during the last human war. He was alone, tied but smiling. The video started with silence. Then the man spoke. "You think you've won, but you don't understand us. You fight for land, we fight for survival. You betrayed us, killed our children, burned our skies. But we are not dead, we are storms, sleeping in the dark." Then the video ended. Jorah's hands shook. He looked at the file label. "Classified, do not open." He opened more reports. Battle maps, images. Logs. One file showed a list of planets. Destroyed by humans alone, not just defeated, erased even. The Union's most powerful fleets couldn't stop them. But then, suddenly the humans disappeared. No one knew how. No one asked. The Union simply called it the end of the human threat. They built a lie. They said, humans are extinct. Humans were weak. Humans are myths now. But Jorah now knew the truth. The Union feared them. So they erased all history, banned the stories, deleted the data. But now, the truth had returned. Jorah ran to the council room. He stood before the alien leaders. He spoke with fear and fire. "You lied to the galaxy. You didn't win the war, you hid from it. And now, the ones you buried have returned." The council shouted, "Lies impossible. Just a boy with dreams." But one old Admiral Voran stood up slowly. He looked at Jorah and said, "He's telling the truth." Everyone turned to him. Voran had fought in the last human war. He was the only survivor from his ship. He never spoke about it until now. "They didn't vanish," he said. "They left. On purpose. They said, we will return only when we're ready." And now they are. Back in space, human warships moved through the dark, silent, fast, unseen. They didn't send messages. They didn't ask for talks. They were hunting. And soon, every planet would feel their shadow. The stars would never be the same, because this time, the humans would not. Stop the Galactic Union was falling apart. Not because of battles, not because of human attacks, but because of fear across the galaxy. Strange things were happening. Entire colonies stopped sending signals. Trade ships disappeared without a trace. Military bases lost power for no reason. And in the silence, a message appeared, not on screens, not through satellites, but in dreams. Every leader, every commander, every soldier, they saw the same nightmare. A voice, cold, human. "We are awake. You forgot us. Now, remember." Empire held a secret meeting. "They haven't attacked us directly," he said. "Maybe we can make peace." But before anyone answered, The sky outside turned red. Everyone ran to the windows. Above their heads, a huge human warship floated in the clouds. No sound, no fire, no destruction. It just stayed there watching. Across the galaxy, it was the same human. Ships appeared one at a time. They didn't fire. They didn't speak. They just ... arrived, and everywhere they went. Fear followed ... inside the Galactic Union Council. "Not fight the humans," shouted the Grell Prime Minister. "Our worlds are not your shields," yelled the Zoth ambassador. "Even the strong ones, the Wexer." The Brutaki began pulling their fleets back. All records showed the same thing. No one had ever survived a fight with a human ship. Not one. Jorah, the young analyst, watched it all. He stood beside Admiral Vorin. "They're not even attacking," Jorah said. Vorin nodded. "They don't need to. They are using fear as a weapon." On the mining moon Shar 9, a worker looked up and saw a human ship arrive. He whispered, "Are they going to destroy us?" But the ship didn't move. It stayed silent for one full day. Morning, no orders, no war. They just ran. The message was clear. The humans don't want peace. They don't want power. They want the galaxy to remember. And that memory was more powerful than any gun. Back in the council room, only a few leaders remained. Jora stepped forward. He said quietly, "You thought you erased them. But they erased fear from their own hearts. Now they are teaching it to all of us." Admiral Vorin added, "The humans do not need armies anymore. They are the storm." And high above a burning star, a human AI sent a message. To the galaxy, short, simple, final. "We are not here to rule. We are here to end the story you started." The Galactic Union was no longer united. The flags of its members fell. And in the silence, ... Earth stood tall. The stars were no longer safe. Human ships moved like shadows fast, silent and unstoppable. They didn't speak. They didn't warn. They appeared, and everything changed. On the edge of the galactic capital, a strange energy spike was detected. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a planet. It was something. In between, the energy grew stronger, so strong that the sky began to shake. The stars above the capital city flickered, like dying lights. People stared at the sky, and then ... a portal opened. From inside the portal came something massive, larger than any warship, larger than any city. It was a mobile planeta moving world. Of steel, covered in weapons, powered by suns, built by Earth. The ground trembled. Alarms rang across the galaxy. Inside the Union's last command center, panic exploded. "What is that?" One officer cried. An old general whispered, "It's not a ship, it's Earth itself." They had not just returned with ships, they had moved the planet, or worse, they built a new one. The giant fortress moved slowly, blocking out stars. Every scanner, every satellite, every eye in the galaxy saw it. And at its center, a single symbol glowed bright Earth's mark. From deep inside the fortress, a voice spoke, not human, not angry, just cold, calm, and final. "You erased our name. You hunted our people. You buried our story. Now, we write it again." The voice wasn't from a person. It was from Earth's central AI, the mind of the machine world. Around the fortress, thousands of warships appeared. They were silent. They didn't charge weapons. They simply stood there waiting the message. It was clear, we are not here to talk. Back on the Galactic Council worlds, entire populations fled. No orders were given. People saw Earth's fortress and ran. Some leaders begged for peace. They sent messages to Earth. "We surrender." But no reply came. The galaxy had ruled for 500 years after the humans disappeared. But now, ... Earth had returned, and with it came judgment. Jora watched the scene from a distant station. He whispered to himself. They didn't forget. They were building. They didn't die. They evolved. And now they are unstoppable. Admiral Vorin stood beside him. His voice was heavy. "This is not war. This is memory, turned into steel." The stars were changing . And now the galaxy understood. Humanity never wanted peace. They wanted silence, and they had come to take it back. The galaxy was watching. Earth's massive fortress, larger than a moon, stood, still in the sky.
Thousands?
of human ships surrounded it like silent guardians. No words, no warnings. Only one truth was clear. Earth had returned, and it was not here to talk. The Galactic Union made one last decision, a final attack. They called it Operation Light. All remaining fleets from across the galaxy gathered together. Over 300 warships, the largest force ever created. Their goal: destroy Earth's war fortress before it reached the Union capital. Admiral Silrex, leader of the final fleet, gave a bold speech. They think we are afraid. They think they have already won. But today, we fight back. The fleet jumped into warp space. They were strong, fast, ready, but they were wrong when they arrived near Earth's fortress. It was already waiting. The human warships didn't move, didn't fire, didn't blink. They just stood there, blocking out the stars. One alien officer whispered, "Why aren't they doing anything?" Then the message came. Short, final. You wanted war. This is what war looks like. The sky lit up, but it wasn't from the alien fleet. It was the humans. In less than 6 seconds, half the alien fleet disappeared. Not exploded, not damaged, just gone. Wiped from space like dust, the others turned to escape. They tried to jump away, but their engines wouldn't start. Something had infected their systems. A silent virus, a human AI weapon. One by one, ships shut down. No control, no power, no light. And then the burn began. From the center of Earth's fortress, a giant beam fired across space. Not fire, not plasma, something new. It didn't burn metal, it erased it. The beam cut through space itself. Where it passed, the stars flickered and died. The galaxy watched in horror. Planets could see the battle from light years away. Some thought the stars were exploding, but they were wrong. The humans were breaking them. Only one alien ship survived. A small scout ship. Its pilot sent a message before jumping away. This is not war. This is punishment. Earth has turned the stars into weapons. Jorah saw the report. His hand shook. He said to Admiral Vorin, "We never had a chance." Vorin nodded. "We never did. We just didn't know it." Across the galaxy, people began to whisper, "Don't look at the stars too long, because one day you might not see them again." And above it all, Earth's fortress floated in silence, cold, still, watching. The stars were burning, and humanity showed no mercy. The war was over, but there was no treaty, no peace meeting, no final battle, because Earth never spoke. And yet, the galaxy surrendered. After the burn of stars, no fleets remained. The Galactic Union was gone. Its capital world, silent planets that once ruled, now waited in fear. Human ships didn't attack anymore. They didn't destroy. They just arrived. And watched above major cities, one by one, Earth's ships appeared. No weapons, no words, just presence. The message was clear. We are here. We remember. Trade ended. Borders vanished. No one dared build a new army because the sky was no longer empty. The stars had eyes on a small moon far from the chaos. A child looked up. He saw one of the massive human ships in orbit. He asked his father, "Who are they? Why don't they talk?" The father didn't answer. He only looked at the ship, eyes wide, voice shaking, and said, "They are the ones we forgot. Now they have returned. So we never forget again." Jorah stood inside a space station, staring at Earth's fortress in the distance. It hadn't moved for days. It didn't need to. Around it, all the galaxy had gone quiet. No wars, no councils. Just ... Silence. Admiral Vorin walked beside him. He said, "They didn't come to rule. They came to remind us what fear really is." Years passed. Children grew up under Earth's shadow. Books stopped calling humans a myth. Now they were something else. A warning on a faraway world. Someone once asked, "Can we fight them again?" The room went silent. Then an elder replied, "You don't fight the stars. You just pray. They keep watching ... and nothing more." Earth didn't destroy the galaxy. It did something worse. It made the galaxy afraid to speak. And in that silence ... humanity ruled everything.